Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 9 of the Greatest Attorney 2 Resolve. Last time, we started the second case in the game, which is actually a flashback case that takes place right after the events of the third case from the previous game. In which case, we're about to actually talk to the almost victim of that case. But first off, we gotta investigate the room. We gotta investigate everything here, because that is my philosophy. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here.
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks like he's about to snap and go on a rampage.
He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think? And then Pearl, she just breaks through the space-time continuum.
I heard Did somebody say special someone?
Okay, I need to turn the volume down my headphones a little.
My, Mr. Naruto. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Yes, Pearl Faye would be very appreciative of you, Naruto. Yeah, Pearl channels Naruto in order to talk Phoenix into marrying Maya. Pearl would bring the dead into assisting her. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it?
I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Naruto. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe, used when practicing sketching in human form in different poses.
Really? It's not exactly what you'd call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it?
No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before.
Well, if you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Anything else? Yeah, we'll investigate the giant rat. This looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place? A zoo? What, are they getting advice from the guy who basically ran this hospital? Did his descendants go on to run Central Prison in the main series games? Because this sounds like something you'd hear out of the Second Investigations game.
You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park.
For the pigeons, yes. This is a person. Poor Win, I hope she hasn't read this. She's the pigeon lady. She's the ancestor of Victor Kudo. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that?
If you were a patient here, I feel sure you'd take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep.
That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one.
Oh, I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well.
There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Miss Susato. Yeah, Ryunosuke, he's sleepwalking, he just tears the cabinet right off the hinges. Yeah, let's investigate the giant rat.
Eek! A mouse, Mr. Naruto! An enormous mouse!
Vermin in a hospital. That doesn't seem to be the best.
But it looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump.
I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you're thinking. If anything, that's a testament to how bad this facility would be, because chances are that rat would be feeding on, well, things that are not food, to say the least. Things that used to be people. Yes, let's check the bag.
That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. Let's loot it.
She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though.
I expect a friend or a family member probably brought some things for her.
Alright then, let's see what's inside. A change of clothes, no doubt, and...
No, Mr. Naruto, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings.
What, are they also bitter? What, are they like a maiden's room in that they're full of bittersweet secrets? But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Really, just have Pearl channel Ryunosuke, and then have him investigate with Maya. That would be a real eventful day. They wouldn't even investigate the crime scene. They'd just be hitting up all the food stands. Okay, I want to go over here. Okay, other bed. This looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital.
The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so he or she is probably running around the hospital then.
Oh, sorry. Here she is running around the hospital then.
Oh dear, how worrying.
What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. More medicine. There are all sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look, I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this.
Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two.
I love just how Susato basically treats Ryunosuke the same way that Iris treats Sherlock. As if to say, basically,
I don't trust you, Ryunosuke. I can't leave you alone, Ryunosuke. Without me, you just walk into the street and get hit by an omnibus.
Yeah, I can just imagine now, basically, just in Iris's mind, she's just having these nightmares. Ryunosuke, he goes out alone. Okay, I'm going out, Sherlock! And then Ryunosuke just wallows in the street. And then basically he gets run down by Beepo's omnibus. Beepo, oh no! I just hit a guy! No, I can't afford a third strike! Beepo isn't going back to prison! Beepo remembers what happened last time! Beepo went to prison! Beepo regretted dropping the soup! I'm getting away! And then Beepo just drives off a bridge into the Thames. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors.
I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock.
How much you want to bet that during the 5th case of the first game, when Sherlock was in the hospital, he just broke the lock open and then just started guzzling down the medicine just because. Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know, Mr. Sato. Yeah, meanwhile, Sherlock, bottoms up! Okay, we've investigated the entire room. Nothing with the window, trash can, nothing. So let's talk to you. Good morning. Hello, I'm, Ryunosuke Naruto from the Empire of Japan.
Oh no, was it your knife that? Are you the battle?
No, I'm a lawyer.
And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you.
Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one?
No, I assure you, I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes.
Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's alright, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Well, what I really mean is, I just really want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. I don't want those down in the back.
I don't think that's related, actually.
Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down.
Seeing as we're here, we should probably ask her what happened from her perspective, I suppose. About the incident. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green.
It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days though, I think. Isn't that right?
I'm going to need to change up the voice. Okay, yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Miss Garrideb in this game. I don't think she's going to make a return because she's, well, in prison, so I'll just give her voice then. Because that other voice, basically, it would destroy me, because I'd just be afraid that I'd hurt my tongue somehow.
Yes, that's right, I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time.
But the case hasn't been solved, hasn't it? Well, I've been here in the hospital, I mean.
Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruto's hard work in court that solved the case.
Ah, but who did the dance of deduction with him that helped him come to those conclusions, Miss Susato? Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to interview me shortly.
Oh, I see.
coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never regain consciousness. It was selfish of me.
Oh no! We're also relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are.
With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Okay, let's just do some Oh, come on! I wanted to basically talk. Okay, can I actually? Okay, we can't converse. We can only we can only talk to her. We can't just show her things. I want to show her things. What type of world is where I can't present the badge? So you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts. Great Britain is such a wonderful country.
Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. Well, in that case, I should have been looting. Such a shame, really. All your stuff could be mine. I see, how very interesting. Oh no, is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away from the underground from here. And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton town centre. I could dig up fossils near your house with what catchy music plays in the background. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means. I suppose Soseki-san does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine art student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly climbed up.
Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs.
Oh dear, do forgive me. If you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Oh yes, of course, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. Sorry, just my tongue from earlier. Is there a Mr. New Narrow Fodder here? Mr. Narrow Fodder? Narrow Fodder now? Well, if you're looking for Naruto, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ow! Mr. Narrow Fodder, good, this is for you. It's a message from, Mr. Saucy Nutmeg. Mr. Natsume sent me a message to me?
But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume?
Exactly. What's going on? What's the Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? Frankly, considering all the stuff that we're told that basically the patrolmen do in this world, basically, I wouldn't be surprised if delivery boy was one of those things. Frankly, I'm surprised that we don't have the sleepy guy from the last game. Ah! What are you waiting for? Let me see that! Oh? Well, this is most unexpected. Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Is something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? He says. Have you not seen this note? No, how could I? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls, a case of murder, no less. We must abort at once.
Murder?
Call a cab. CzarThwomp just burped. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient.
Convenient? What do you mean?
It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Moustache's lodgings. Wait, what?
I'll have fiancé at once.
It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court, and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now, the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address? He must very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Loading, 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 loading. 21st of February, 7:18 a.m. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ground floor. What on earth?
Oh my, the gentleman is deceased. Without question, he's dead.
Look, I'm doing Mr. Naruto Esquire! Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. Well, too bad, Soseki. You're going back into the prison. You're going back, Mr. Mustache Man, back into yourself. No! And then basically Sherlock just picks up Soseki. He just grabs Soseki, just holding him under his arm like one would carry a book or something. No! Put me down, you foul detective! Put me down, you dubious investigator! I will not stand for this! Of course you won't stand for this, because I'm carrying you now off to the prison! No! And then he's just flailing his arms, just flailing them about. And then meanwhile, Barack Van Zeeks is like, here we go again. Just, you know that CJ meme from just Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? It's like that again. Here we go again. How many times must I teach you Nipponies a lesson? And then I wake up the next day and this. No animal should catch a worm like this. Waffle, worm without wiggle. I see you're nice bits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah! Not the horrible hair-long shelves! I'm not going back to jail! And then Soseki he takes off his coat and then just starts punching Sherlock. He just jumps on Sherlock and then just goes full Ralphie on. Just starts beating up Sherlock like how Ralphie beat up Scott Farkas. Shoo! Shove off! Show yourself the door! I never invited you!
Mr. Shums came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume.
I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? He's gonna take me to jail again, isn't he? Here they are, already, the busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson, what a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Also, I get weak in the knees, partially because I'm afraid that my lady's gonna come and break my kneecaps in. Ah! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is the result of your excessive consumption of fried foods, as well as your fear of a 10-year-old girl. Oh, that girl! There's nothing little about her. She will destroy us all without even lifting a finger, Holmes. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touch anything. Or good morning to you too, sunshine. Okay, let's examine some stuff. Let's examine the Shakespearean stage. Let's examine stage left. Oi! I said hands off! You're going missing my crime scene! Oh, no. I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance! I know you're kind! You're messing up just by looking at it! Somebody's in a bad mood. There's certainly some bad end here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I'd better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Yes, tell him that Iris sends his regards. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So the victim lived here on the ground floor, and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, they're gonna theorize that basically Soseki, he basically just stomped a hole in the ceiling, just caused part of it to crack down, hit the guy on the head, and just boom, he's dead. Yes, that's right, in a way. We were neighbors, I suppose. So, did you know the victim? Were you friends? Yeah, I take it you didn't borrow a cup of I take it that he didn't return that cup of sugar he borrowed? What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken up by it? Well, since suppose he was a complete stranger, but did he ever invite me to his room? Never! On my honor, I swear it!
What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you'd never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruto?
When we found him here, I felt wretched, which is why I sent word asking for you to come. Oh, what? No, Inspector over there! Gotta investigate the window. Gotta talk to Gregson, who's just done with life. Gregson is feeling the toll of being bossed around by a 10-year-old girl. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shakespeare. He was a lodger here. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. A bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just dead.
Mr. Shamspeare.
It was the landlord, or Mr. Garrideb and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garrideb got worried and kicked the door down. Damn it, I am not going to lose more rent! You are going to pay me my rent! Right down... hey, Nutmeg, whatever your name is, you mind coming to the door? Oh yes, sure, what do you need? And then Garrideb just picks up Natsume and just uses him as a battering ram. But doesn't Mr. Garrideb have a bad leg? Oh yes, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Soseki-san? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fella looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the culprit, cohabiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? I'll regret nothing. What? You think I got something to regret? Sorry, I had a hair or something in my mouth.
Oh dear, Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again.
Sorry, I had some mucus. It certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he?
Poor man, how unfortunate.
Anyways, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been gone of that long. The boy's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Yes, let's go. Yes, Sherlock and his false running scene. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Ha! You need only observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. There's nothing natural about Sherlock.
Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery?
Patience, my dear madam, patience. We have not been in this room for 5 minutes. So all I've actually deduced is what actually happened.
My goodness! But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes?
Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw two incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Ah!
Ah!
Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? I just love that cut and just Natsume just screaming. I swear that was just wonderful. But anyways, I think that we're going to be getting to a dance of deduction pretty soon, so I think actually it would be a good idea to end things off now before basically we get involved in that, and then before you know it, oh, hey, this video is about 5 hours long. So anyways, I think that would be a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you can come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. Without, see you next time. Bye.